Hello and welcome to another 9th Warhounds podcast. We got so much to talk about. Mostly it's going to be opinion based, but there's a little bit of fun going on in the community. So make sure you check out all of our socials. Go to our website. Link is in the description. Back for a second week in a row. Been delaying it because some stuff's been going on. And the first thing we have going on is, so everyone knows that there's tournaments that happen for multitudes of games. Right now there's a solo Fortnite one that happens weekly. It's a Saturday. Happens Saturday and Sunday. But apparently somebody has been entering or entered in one in Europe under the 9th Warhounds name. Now, there was a lot of confusion. We never know. Sometimes people can say, hey, this is our affiliation. Someone doesn't even talk to us. Whatever, no big deal. But as our fearless leader, Mr. King Noxie, noted, the person actually did fairly well. Like, shockingly well. And so he was like, well, I want to find out who this person is so that, you know, maybe it's a legitimate mistake. Maybe we can help him out. Maybe we can figure something out. But the problem is if you're entering a tournament under our name, under the Warhounds name, wearing the gear today again, you want to make sure it's under the right circumstances and the right, you know, you don't want it to be someone that's either going to tarnish the name, make things look bad. You just want to make sure everything is correct. So the big thing for us was, let's just figure it out. So they actually had a tournament last night, and I don't know what happened with it. You'll have to go to Mr. King Noxie's YouTube podcast, everything. He has an anchor as well. I'll link it in the description. I'll get it for him before I post the podcast. The YouTube, I believe, has his description, but we'll see. But the big thing for me is we tried to help the person out. No one reached out. No one said anything. They have changed the name to 9.5 War Dogs. I don't know. It's been weird looking into all this stuff and seeing what people are saying. And, you know, the other team that's playing this person is just like, I don't want to, you know, we want to make sure we're playing the right people. And that's how we found out was they reached out to us on Twitter. And we're like, hey, excited to play you in the match this week. And Mr. King Noxie's like, wait, what? So that's the first bit of news that we have for this week. It's very interesting to say the least. But I am excited to get it resolved so that we can start getting our own people in tournaments and, you know, making sure it's done the right way. The next thing I really wanted to talk about is the disaster that is Battlefield 2042. So, for those that don't know, they actually are refunding Battlefield 2042 on Steam. And it's not a normal refund. It's not, hey, this game's trash, refund me. It is, you bought it, you're getting your money back. Almost every single person that people have talked to on Steam has gotten their money back for the game. Now, I was streaming last night, and I was having a good conversation with one of my viewers. And we were talking about the fact that the game failed so miserably. And the worst part is this is a massive repercussions across the gaming industry. So the first problem is the beta did not have the same glitches that we're getting in this. And what the problem my viewer brought up, which I thought was a good one, was the fact that if you've noticed, most of these games are scaled down for your system. So if you download Warzone, you download Fortnite onto a Series S as opposed to a Series X or PC, there's going to be a varying difference in quality on the visuals. And what I think happened, which is what happens with video games, is they build the game to be able to be playable on the highest platform. And then they basically optimize it down so it's playable on all these other different platforms. And it's almost like they only set it up for like a Series S or maybe even a 1X. And now they're having the problems where the graphics look horrible. It's glitching like crazy. And my main problem with this whole thing is not that, you know, it happens, whatever. But look what Halo did. Halo got a bunch of backlash. Mind you, they're their multiplayer system is still broken. Personally, the battlefield progression, the battle pass progression, but what I have noticed is the game itself is beautiful. It glitches out not even nearly as much as I thought it would, and they delayed it. And they basically told people, they didn't want to have a Cyberpunk, which I'm shocked Battlefield did this. And now what it has done, in my opinion, is caused even more repercussions, because now Warzone doesn't have to do anything. Warzone can just be like, what do you want us to do? We don't have anyone competing with us. There's no game that's competitive with us. Had a friend that told me that almost all the devs went on Christmas break, which is fine, but they uploaded and unleashed this thing on Warzone with no one to watch on it. And it's because of the failure of Battlefield 2042. They don't have to try harder. Why would you try harder when there's nothing to try harder for? So they're issuing refunds. I'm interested to see how they respond. I haven't seen anything much about it because it was just kind of a small article because Steam was doing that. I know a lot of other places, they can't do that. They're not liquid enough. If something were to happen, it's just going to be bad. In the end, it'll just be horrible. So let us know how you feel about the Battlefield release, how you feel about, the horrible graphics. And we'll delve into it more. I haven't played it. I didn't buy it. I had just gotten Vanguard, which we're going to do into that in a second. But, I love Vanguard. Vanguard was a great game. I had fun. But Battlefield, it was fun when I played the beta. The beta was amazing. And I think the biggest problem is now with video games. We'll talk about this. Might as well just do it now. You have a problem where people complain on Twitter, oh, this is wrong, that is wrong. And I know from experience from jobs I've had, when people complain about something, that gets pushed to the forefront. Where people aren't realizing is if you keep complaining about just random stuff, oh, look, the trees look stupid, or this looks, instead of telling them to actually fix the game, they're going to go and go, oh, look, we fixed this. Hey, look, we fixed that. Warzone had 2 updates this week. And I don't even know what this ricochet doesn't work. I'm not an amazing player, but someone's not hitting someone from 75 yards away with an MP40 and iron sights. It ain't happening. Not missing one shot. And just seeing no movement, no nothing, just bam, done, gone. And there's just so much stuff that's messed up with the systems, with everything going on, that they needed someone to come through, and Battlefield just dropped the ball. Now, when it comes to Warzone, I did decide to try and play the Vanguard Plunder event trios, and it's just the guns, and it's nothing else. There's no exfil, so you can't send helicopters off, but there's plenty of balloons. There's balloons that the rate of balloons dropping has not changed at all, so it doesn't make it more difficult. It's still 2 million, which I think is a good spot. We had one 30-minute round last night. That's how long it took. And if someone didn't even hit 2 million, it literally was, I think we were second place and we were like 1.6. So I'm assuming that the first place person was like 1.8 maybe, because they had a pretty significant lead on us. But, other than that, nothing big. But then they did add Rebirth, quads, trios, and duos, which I feel like Warzone's just reaching right now. Because why would you need all those spots taken? I mean, it is a double XP weekend. And my main thing, I was talking to a friend on the phone, and I looked, and I'm like, oh, it's a double XP weekend. Wait, what's this weekend? Is this a holiday weekend? It's January. I don't know what this weekend is, because usually it's a weekend where someone either has a long weekend or something's dropping. Nothing. So what they do have going on is next Friday, I believe, is the start of Call of Duty League. And the problem we're going to run into is I started watching Call of Duty League when I got back into playing games, because Warzone and them and multiplayer had the ability to get the tokens for double XP, double weapon XP, and little emblems and call tags, all that kind of stuff, if you watched it through the app. So I did it. I'm like, hey, you know what? It's kind of fun watching, and you see these new people, And like it was heating up. Post Malone invested in the Dallas Empire, and then now they added a spot on Warzone where you can see Call of Duty League. Click on it. Well, Dallas Empire's gone, and it says Boston TBA. Now there is a new Boston team. I don't even know the name anymore because I was just thrown for a loop. That like Crim 6 left Dallas Empire and went over to the Subliners, and it's just a mess right now. It's just a mess, and everyone I've talked to thinks that they're not going to make it. And my big thing was Search and Destroy is an annoying game. It's not fun to watch. It's not. I mean, there is strategy, but it's nothing like a, domination or anything else they play. There's no, they brought new. The one I like from Vanguard, which apparently most of the guys don't want to play Vanguard, and that's the big problem right now. But my favorite is there's one where it's a rotating zone. So basically, you take the spot like it's domination, and it's rolling through the map. So it'll go through a building, and you got to figure a way to hold that, and it keeps moving. And so you either have to take the tactic of, everyone go to the thing and defend it, or try and maintain it that way. Get someone that's kind of providing cover, or have some people in there, some people roving around, getting people trying to come up. It's a fun round. So I hope they bring that into Call of Duty League. But people said they don't want to play Vanguard. I think it's the weapons. There's a lot of stuff they've taken away from, like, the perks aren't the same because it's not the same game. So people have been complaining, and we're going to see what happens. It is what it is. But I want to go into some positives, so I'm going to take a break. This is for the podcast. Take a break. I'll be right back. And for those of you watching on YouTube, this is how I'm going to put my little ad in the middle. And we're back. But I want to thank everyone for listening. But I want to go into positives. So I didn't know that they had basically a... they basically have a league similar to Call of Duty League. And they basically... It's a little bit different. It looked like basically if you just created a team, so like the 9th Warhounds could have a team of 4 people that start doing really good on Halo Infinite. And basically, from what my one friend was saying, because I'm just starting to get into it, they basically you can go to a local event and work your way up to go towards like a big event. And this one team called Cloud9 just won. And the announcing... the way they're talking about the gameplay, the way they bounce back and forth, it's very similar to Call of Duty League, but I think they do it better. So Call of Duty League, they all have different colors, uniforms on the players, so you know which team's which. And then basically they show the outlines of the people where they're at, so you could see, okay, this person's going to come around the corner and they're going to get killed. Someone's maintaining the cameras so that basically you're throwing it around there, You're making it it's a lot cooler. I like it. I think it's amazing. Well, the big thing for me now is, do I switch to this? Do I start watching this? Because Call of Duty League isn't doing it for me. When they have the Twitch Warzone tournaments, it doesn't do anything for me. It is funnier because you can watch multiple different streamers stream it, and then they have the actual announcer one. So that one is kind of fun because it's kind of random. You're not getting the same content from the same people. I feel like COVID has kind of hurt a lot of people on that because their announcers aren't anywhere close. They're further away. But Halo just feels like they do it so much better. It felt like a different thing. People have been complaining about the Battle Pass progression, but when I do play it, I'm not the greatest at that game just because I didn't grow up playing it. I was a PlayStation guy through and through. I got an Xbox 360 one time. It crashed, and it was done. But what I will say is I like the way you respawn in. I like the way you know what's going on. I just like the movements. A lot of my friends that were Warzone players have switched over to Halo Infinite. It's great. So I'm excited for it. I want to see what this league does just so I can kind of get a balance with it and, keep watching because I think it's going to be fun. And hopefully they fix some of the stuff. I will say the game itself is phenomenal. The things they do in it to throw you off, I think I talked about it in the last podcast, just with, they have speakers and spots where you don't know if it's actually enemies coming or if it's just a speaker of the person setting propaganda, because that's basically the format of it. But I enjoy playing the game itself. I haven't played in a minute because I've been streaming a lot of Fortnite. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've been a little bit laggy. I don't know why. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know if my internet's iffy or what, but I've been a little bit laggy, and I don't know. It still performs better. We just got a win today when I was playing, and even though I had a little bit of lag, I could still play the game. Whereas, I was running in Call of Duty Plunder, and, the biggest problem for me is when you look far enough distances away, at least I have a Series S, you can see the pixelation. So like the tree leaves look weird. And then when you go to the operator and you change, there's like a shed, and there's like a rack behind them. And the same way the camera is doing this here, where it's making that kind of fade in and fade out when I'm crossing my arm across it, that's what it does in the game. The toolboxes flash and change to a crisp to just jacked up, and it doesn't make any sense. My player doesn't show up half the time on the dashboard, and I thought maybe it's my internet connection. No, I go over to Fortnite, and where I do have some bad connection every once in a while, because more people are using it, whatever, I find it more during the day. I lag a little bit just because I have a T-Mobile internet thing it's newer, and I don't know, maybe it's just not as efficient. Who knows? I know my speed's a lot faster, but I feel like even with a little bit of lag, something's going on where it fixes it. I don't feel like I'm being hacked on as much. Obviously there's some times where I'm like, this person's missing shots, and then magically headshot. Maybe they got lucky, I don't know. But I don't have complaints about it because I'm still having fun in the game. Warzone, it's just the same people killing you over and over again. I know the frustration. That's why I stopped playing it, a little bit. Now, a lot of the streamers, Huskers is one, and a couple other ones have flat out said if Warzone doesn't fix all their issues by March, they'll find something else. And one that I've been playing on and off that I don't get frustrated with is Apex. Apex has been somewhat steadily maintaining what it's doing. They have, I think, the brilliant idea of they just have a set instead of having like the store where it changes every day. They have a set that goes for at least a couple of days, maybe even a week. And I know people don't like it because they do have where you can buy the packs where you can get different stuff for your characters and new weapons and building materials, but I don't know, like I'll drop in hot with people that are way better than me, and it is skill-based matchmaking. So I'll drop in with people if they've got level 200, 300, I'm screwed. But I still have a chance. Whereas with like Warzone, I feel like you'll get a bot lobby, and the next thing you know, it's like you have the best players in the history of Warzone playing, and it doesn't make sense how they do it. I was playing the other night, and some dude was just running around in circles as I shot at him, and then when I killed him finally, he's like calling me names, and I'm like, but how am I supposed to go across the map if you're just standing in the middle of the water on Caldera? So it is what it is. I'm trying to stay positive. I do like the Vanguard weapons playing in Plunder. I know a lot of people don't like it, but they do changes all the time like this. And I think it's only for a week. So we're going to see eventually what their decision is. Because whenever they pull Plunder, people freak out. I'm a part of a Plunder group, and they're like, I can't believe they did this. And I'm like, well, they kind of have to do it every once in a while, just because if you don't make change here and there, what are you going to do? You're going to have nothing. So we'll see how well it fares. And I hope there's a big update. I have talked to people who seem to think that Warzone probably has something up their sleeve. And like I said earlier, Why would you release something that's insane or new or crazy when your main competitor failed so bad that you don't have to worry about it? That's my opinion. Fortnite is making some changes. I know supposedly they're going to have some new vehicles, some new animals, and rumored to be no build mode. Now, no build mode I think is going to be great and horrible at the same time because I don't build. So if you don't build, you're going to do great. But that means you're in a bunch of rooms with another no builders. Whereas I feel like if you're in duos, like the one we just won earlier, we legitimately ran up, went straight ahead shooting at the build, and then I came around the corner shooting through the side of the build. So what happens when that happens? Well, guess what? You take them out. Maybe they're healing. Maybe they're getting shields back up. But that's a tactic. So if you're not a builder, you know you can do that. When you're all not builders, what's going to happen? So we should find out soon enough. I am waiting 19 days to get the new skin. I have all my stars saved for the foundation because I'm believing you're going to be able to get the rock. Fingers crossed. Right now I'm Marshmallow. But yeah, the state of gaming is just so wacky right now. And then we also internally, this crazy thing with this person that's playing as us, not anymore, but was, is just crazy. And also, don't forget, right there, Mall Energy. That's what I'm drinking when I'm streaming. Get you up, no come down. I think it works great. I have the watermelon flavor. It's delicious. So make sure you check out that sponsor right there. Greatly appreciate it. It is in the link in the description for our YouTube. And I'll throw the link up in our Anchor just so we can have that in there as well. So I want to thank everyone for watching, everyone for listening. And on behalf of the 9th Warhounds, I am FOMOcast Chris, and we'll see you guys next time.